Welcome to, hold on. Let me put on a shirt real quick. One second. All right, that's better. Guys, welcome to my top 3 survivor builds video for the summer barbecue event. These builds will be applicable long after the summer barbecue event, hopefully, assuming things don't change. But guys, 3 amazing survivor builds for you to try out in Dead by Daylight, especially if you're not already using these guys. Like these, I highly recommend. Let's start with our first build, guys. Our first build is literally my go-to build, guys. You might have seen this in some of my other videos, but the perk setup, Sprint Burst, lets you run really fast for 3 seconds, and then you're exhausted for 40 seconds. After 40 seconds, you'll get the perk back. There's some cool things you can do with it, like 99ing your Sprint Burst, saving it for when you're in chase. That's a little more advanced. But all in all, Sprint Burst, a very good exhaustion perk right now. Probably the best exhaustion perk. If you're not comfortable with Sprint Burst, you can use Balanced Landing or Life. It really doesn't matter for this part. Whichever exhaustion perk you like, go ahead and use it. The next perk, guys, Deja Vu. The point of this build is just well-rounded, and this build has a little bit of everything tied into it, and this build gives you a really good chance of getting to the end game. One of the perks that helps us do so is Deja Vu. This will reveal the 3 generators that are closest together always, and you do those gen 6% quicker. So at the start of the match, you will see where the 3 gen's at. If you prioritize working on the 3 generators that are always closest together, this sets you up for massive success at the end of your matches. Literally, if you keep working on the Deja Vu gens, then at the end of the game, the last 3 gens will be pretty far split apart, so you won't end up in one of those situations where the killer has 3 gens really close together that they can just defend it easily, and then you lose a game you should have otherwise won. We have Sprint Burst to help us out in chase. We have Deja Vu so we can prioritize the objective. There's no guesswork when it comes to gens. If we're in an indoor map like Midwich or somewhere where the gens are harder to find, this perk is extra clutch in those moments. But even on outdoor maps, you're still getting the 6% repair speed, and you never have to stress or worry about where the 3 gen's at because you always just know with Deja Vu. Yeah, you can get on comms with teammates, but honestly, just use Deja Vu. It's so much easier, so much simpler. Now the next part of our build, guys, is actually Botany. Botany is a great perk. It just gives you a flat boost of 50% healing basically forever. You pick someone up who's slugged, you heal somebody else, you're always healing people 50% faster. This also stacks with medkits, so you heal yourself quicker with a medkit. The only downside is this will reduce your healing item efficiency by 20%. So allegedly, you basically just lose 20% of your medkit charges. But this perk is great because it helps you reset your team a lot quicker. So we've got something for chase, we've got something for the gens, and we've got something to support our team. With Botany, we can heal our teammates quicker, especially after we unhook them. But the best part about this build is the last perk, and probably my favorite part about it. And that just makes this build just go up to the next level. So we're prioritizing gens with Deja Vu. We have a good chance of making it to the end game because we've got a solid perk to keep our teammates healthy, we've got a solid perk to help us in chase, and a solid perk to prevent the 3 gen. Then when we get to the end game, guys, we get No One Left Behind, which will activate after the 5th generator pops. Does a bunch of things. 1, you'll get 100% extra blood points for healing and unhooking other survivors, which honestly, this is probably the only survivor perk that actually gives you bonus blood points now. Since the Prove Thyself Prove Thyself nerf, it's now No One Left Behind. But the cool thing about it, guys, is the second one right here, the second ability. 50% extra action speed when you heal and unhook other survivors. This makes your unhooking speeds really quickly, and this basically stacks with Botany to give you base kit will make it in the end game because you're always healing other people 100% quicker. That's a 8-second heal, guys. Instead of 16 seconds, you're healing people in 8 seconds. So this makes it incredibly easy to keep your teammates really healthy in the end game. But it gets even better, guys. Whoever you unhook from the hook in the end game, they'll get an extra 7% movement bonus for 10 seconds, so they'll be really fast for 10 seconds. So this is very good. You unhook really quickly. Whoever you unhook is going to have a good chance to get some distance from the killer and probably make it out of the trial. But one of the best parts about this perk is the last part, which is the aura of all survivors are revealed to you. Guys, this might not sound like a big deal, but in the end game, it's such a huge deal. You pop the last gen, where are your teammates at? You can see who's going for the exit gate. You can see who needs to get healed. You can see a survivor that's currently in chase, especially if they're on the other side of the map. You know exactly where that survivor's at, so you can actually go find them, take a body block for them, and help get them out of the exit gates. Like, I cannot tell you how many times in the end game this perk has gone off, and I can see where my injured teammates are at, or whoever's in chase, and I'm actually able to go help and support them and like take a body block for them so they can get out of the exit gate. Guys, no one left behind. If you're sleeping on it still and not using it yet, you need to try it out. The best item to bring with this setup is the medkit. Any medkit, doesn't have to be a masquerade medkit. Any medkit's fine. Bring bandages with it. This will add 8 charges to your medkit, so after you actually heal with your medkit, you will have a small amount of charges left in your medkit. So one, you have 1 heal for yourself with the medkit, which is great. Like, we have stuff to heal our teammates, we have stuff to heal ourselves, we have stuff to do gens, we have an exhaustion perk, and we have an awesome endgame perk. The bandages will make it to where we don't use our whole medkit when we heal ourselves. So we get 1 free heal out of the medkit. We will have a little bit of charges left, which means we have enough to use one of these add-ons. You can bring a Scriptic Agent if you'd like, but I prefer the syringe. This basically guarantees 2 heals out of our medkit. So we get 1 decently fast self-heal, and then we can use a syringe. So if you have a bunch of syringes piled up on some of your more experienced survivors, this is a great way to use your syringe, guys, because then you can heal yourself again with the syringe later on in the end game. You can use the syringe on a teammate. Fun fact, if you have perks that affect healing speeds, the time on the syringe is actually affected by them. So because we're actually using botany and we'll make it, the syringe heal actually goes off quicker than it normally would. So it's not always going to take the 16 seconds. So guys, really solid setup. Trust me, if you use this build, you're going to win a lot more games than you'd expect. Let's go on to build number 2. Guys, build number 2 is a classic one that a lot of people were using when Gabriel Soma came out, and it is still a really good viable build. This is a build basically for looping killers and bringing out the chase as long as you possibly can. It all starts with Windows of Opportunity. Basic perk, but a really good perk. This will show you the auras of all of the breakable walls, vault locations, and pallets within 32 meters of your range. So if you're a new to moderate survivor and you struggle extending the chase out for a long period of times, this makes it so easy for you because you can literally just run up to a pallet, find your next pallet, find your next window vault. This takes a lot of the guesswork out of looping and will actually extend your time in chase by quite a bit, especially if you're not that experienced in the game. Now, if you're an experienced veteran survivor who knows where, I mean, even experienced veteran survivors still love using this perk and still use this perk. So I would even say, like, even if you're experienced, use this perk. And I found that when I use it, my chases usually last a lot longer. There's not that weird moment where I'm like running around looking for something to loop or looking for a pallet. I just always know where to go. And for that reason, Windows of Opportunity is vital for this build. I'm sure a lot of people, you guys in the comments, are going to just say, oh yeah, I love Windows, I love Windows. Yeah, it's great, but it gets even better, guys. Resilience. When you're injured, you're 9% better than everybody, baby. You get 9% extra healing, unhooking, repairing, sabotaging, cleansing speeds, you name it. But the real reason we like this perk with this build is because you vault 9% quicker. So after you take a hit and you're injured, you will be able to extend the chase longer because not only do you have windows and know where to go, you will be able to vault through windows 9% quicker, which sometimes is enough to make the difference between you going down or extending the chase another 10-15 seconds, which is huge because the longer you can stall the killer's time, the more time your teammates have to heal themselves up, to do generators, to focus on objectives. So a lot of games are lost because survivors can't extend the chase out that long. And sometimes it's hard. Some killers are really good. But if you have this build, you'll be able to stall a lot of time for your teammates. And not only that, when you're injured, you can do gens quicker with this perk as well. So resilience is very solid for this build, but where it gets even better is with Made for This, guys. When you're injured, and assuming you're not exhausted, you will run 3% quicker. Like I said earlier, we have windows. We can see all the vault locations, all the pallets. We have resilience. We can vault everything quicker and do everything quicker. And now we have Made for This, which is going to make us run quicker as well. 3% might not seem like a lot, but trust me, it's quite a bit, especially with resilience. Not only are you running quicker, but you're vaulting quicker. This can actually extend the chase out more than you would expect. And there's a bonus to this perk is when you finish healing another survivor, you will get the endurance status effect for 10 seconds. Essentially meaning you can just take a hit. So if you have one of those clutch moments in the end game where you and another survivor are healed, you heal them up with resilience because you're 9% better, and then you have 10 seconds of endurance, so you could actually go take a hit, bait the killer a little bit, etc., etc. And then the last perk to round this build out, guys, is Hope. Once the last generator pops, you just get a 7% bonus haste effect, which is 7% extra speed for basically the rest of the game because it never expires. So once the gens are done, you're running 7% quicker with Hope. If you're injured, you're running 10% quicker with Made for This, and you're vaulting 9% quicker, and you can see all the pallets and stuff. It's an incredible setup for looping the killer and stalling time. I like using a flashlight with this build because you can be a little altruistic, and if your pallet sending the killer or dropping the pallets. You can blind the killer whenever they're breaking the pallets and then just run away a little bit longer. But also another solid choice would be a medkit, guys. If you want to bring a medkit with the setup, that's also acceptable because you can be injured, use your medkit to 99% your health. So that way you're still running quicker and doing gens quicker. And then if the killer comes up to you, just use your medkit to top yourself off to 100% real quick. A little fun thing you can do with this build, guys. Highly recommend it. The made for this vaulting build. But guys, we have one more awesome build to share with you guys. And let's get into it. The third and final build, guys, is going to be featuring probably the trendiest, hippest, hottest, newest, coolest survivor combo that you've probably seen around on the interwebs, featuring Buckle Up and For the People. But if you don't know what those perks do, Buckle Up unlocks the potential in one's aura reading ability. When you're healing a survivor in the dying state, both of you can see the killer's aura. When you finish healing that survivor in the dying state to injured, both you and the healed survivor will get endurance for 10 seconds. This is huge, guys. So if you have a teammate who's slugged and you heal them up, and once they get up, they have endurance, you have endurance. So if the killer's coming back really quickly when you're trying to pick up your teammate, even if you just get your teammate up in time, it doesn't matter who he hits, both of you can take one hit and both of you can extend the chase and run from the killer and have a better chance of escaping. Now, this becomes really good with For the People. For the People, basically, when you're healing somebody, you can use your active ability button to instantly heal them one health state. The trade-off is you lose a health state and you'll be broken for 60 seconds. Basically means you can't be healed for another 60 seconds. So here's the cool thing, guys. So you can heal someone slowly and get Buckle Up. But in those situations where your teammate drops like a fly right in front of you and you're right next to the killer too, you can run up to them, start healing really quickly, use For the People, both of you get endurance, the killers can hit one of you guys, but none of you will go down, and you can extend the chase out even longer. So these two perks by themselves work like bread and butter right now. They're really good. It's a really powerful survivor combo. And the next two perks I personally like to bring with this build. This is the DBD build's spin on things, and I bring these perks because I want to just always remain healthy and always be in a position to pull this combo off. Now, if you want, you can use an exhaustion perk, you can use a gen perk like Prove Thyself or Deja Vu. Doesn't really matter, but if you want to use the DBD builds version, this is it, guys. Renewal. Couple things with renewal, guys. When you heal another survivor for a full health state, renewal will activate. What renewal does is the next time you're unhooked, you will be broken for 20 seconds, but then after 20 seconds, you will actually heal yourself instantly, which is great. So this opens up the door for some situations. So let's say you get unhooked, you run away, you don't have to waste time healing, you go back to work on gens, renewal goes off, and then you're healthy, which means you're able to, For the People, Buckle Up, save your teammate at any given moment because you didn't have to waste time healing. Now, another cool thing about renewal is that if you go up to start healing a survivor, assuming they haven't been touched yet and it's still healing a full health state, you can go up to a survivor who's down. Honestly, like the combo we were talking about, if you have a survivor that's injured on the ground and if you go up to them really quickly and start healing them and For the People them, because you technically healed a full health state, renewal will activate. So that next time you get unhooked, you get a free heal because you healed someone. So you could heal them the old-fashioned way, slowly over 16 seconds, or you can For the People heal someone real quick. You will get renewal, guys. And because you have renewal, once you get unhooked, you will be healed so you can go do your combo again. Is this starting to make sense to you guys? It should start making sense to you guys. The light bulb should be going off now like, oh, this is a build about healing people and being healed and just always being ready to For the People. Great, good stuff, guys. And the last perk basically fits hand in hand with everything we talked about. Adrenaline. When the last gen pops, we will heal one health state for free and sprint 150% quicker for 5 seconds. I've had some games, guys, where it's been the end game and I've been injured, and then the last gen pops, I get my adrenaline off and I can actually run up and For the People someone real quick. Those are like probably the most epic plays you will ever see in DBD, especially when they like happen and like you're running really quickly, you can actually pull it off. It's not going to always happen, but when it does, you're going to scream, your jaw's going to fall to the floor, and it's going to be like, oh my god, this is like the best thing that ever freaking happened. Item to bring with this build, guys. I think a medkit is the best choice. Doesn't matter which one. Bring a gel dressing and bandages with it so you can heal yourself twice. So even if you're in a weird situation where you want to burn For the People at the start, just to make sure you get your renewal off and then heal yourself 60 seconds later, you have the option to do so. But guys, these are my top 3 builds. If you enjoyed this video, smash that freaking like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already part of the family because you made it to the end of this video, and comment down below. Let me know what you think of these builds, and let me know what your favorite builds are in Dead by Daylight right now. Until next time, I love you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.